Today's video is sponsored by KEH Camera. Today we're taking a look at a couple lenses from 7Artisans. We have the 28mm f1.4 and the 75mm f1.25. My good friends over at KEH Camera sent these lenses over to me to check out and share my thoughts. KEH is now an official retailer for 7Artisans, so obviously they have a great used inventory, but you can also buy brand new lenses like these directly through KEH, which is pretty rad. These lenses have become really popular, not only for film shooters, but also for people who are shooting digital as well. M-mount lenses are extremely small and compact, and they can pretty much be adapted to anything. I've owned and used a lot of different M lenses over the years, especially on my M6, but adapting M-mount lenses to my SL2 is honestly one of my favorite ways to use this camera. So I did all of the tests with the SL2, some with the SL2S, but primarily the SL2. This one is the one with the 47 megapixel sensor. So one of the biggest things with a 7Artisans lens, obviously they're crazy affordable compared to most M-mount lenses of, similar apertures and focal lengths, but you're paying significantly less, so there's got to be a catch. Most people assume that these are just not sharp and not usable really at all. But if I can get some good results out of these with a massive resolution, I think that's a pretty good test and a good way to see, how reliable or what the quality is really like on these lenses. And some of the results were honestly surprising. Other results, not so much, but we'll get into that. We'll start with the 28 f1.4. Both of these lenses, first of all, they're built extremely well. They feel really, really nice to use. Both of them do have clicked apertures. So some of the 7Artisans lenses I've tried in the past, they had a clickless aperture. Some people prefer that, some people hate that. These do have clicked apertures though. But both lenses, again, they feel great. Now performance-wise, the 28, I honestly was pretty surprised by this thing. I thought for sure at f1.4 that I wouldn't get any usable results, but I was pleasantly surprised. I took both of these lenses on a walk around town the other day with my friend Ross, and I shot a photo of one of those little community library things where, you can put a book in there and take a book and, it's just a cute little thing, you know what I'm talking about. I took a photo wide open f1.4 shooting through the little front window there that swings open, and it was all dusty and scratched up. Shooting through that and shooting the spines of the book, you can see the text on the spine really, really well. Again, wide open on this lens with this sensor. I was really, really shocked that all of that wasn't just full of chromatic aberrations and really, hazy and fuzzy. Everything looked really, really good though. Vignetting and distortion aren't too bad. They're really easy to correct and post with this lens. Honestly, all in all, I was really surprised by this. I would like to try it out on my M6 at some point, although that is one of the things with 7Artisans lenses is they come with basically a chart, a tool for you to calibrate the lens to your rangefinder, because sometimes they need that in order to work properly with a rangefinder. Obviously, I didn't have to worry about that adapting these to my SL2. I'm looking directly, through the lens with the EVF, so I didn't have to worry about that. But that is one thing about 7Artisans lenses that makes me a little hesitant with film cameras is unless I'm willing to, go through the trouble of calibrating the rangefinder, I might not get the most consistent or reliable results. That might not be an issue to you. You might find that that's no big deal to calibrate your lens and do all of that. More power to you. Not everybody is going to take the time to do that. If I can buy a lens that I don't have to worry about that, that's definitely a bonus. So again, your opinion might vary on that, but it's just something to keep in mind with these lenses. If you're using just a rangefinder without looking through the lens, make sure your rangefinder and this thing are on good terms. Now the 75 f1.25, this lens, I had a feeling that wide open, it wouldn't be that great, and I was right. It's very, very fuzzy and glowy and just chock full of chromatic aberration when you're shooting this thing wide open and have any kind of, fine, hard lines of contrast in the scene. Anything backlit, you're gonna have tons of chromatic aberration, which is obviously something you can decrease in post, so it's not a deal breaker, but if you're just wanting a really good, clean, fast lens, this ain't it. Now stopping the lens down to just f2, it's actually really good. It sharpens up really quickly. The vignetting also starts to decrease, which again, distortion and vignetting, really simple to remove that in post as well. But stopping down to f2, that makes a big difference. Obviously going further than that to 5.6 or something, it's really, really sharp. But if you're buying an f1.25 lens, you're probably wanting to shoot at f1.25. So lenses like this that open up to a crazy amount but aren't really usable until you stop them down a little bit more. You know, some people might like that really soft look, but if you're looking for something that's going to give you sharp results, wide open, this would not be the one to get, I think. That said, for video, you might really like that f1.25. It definitely has a very soft and glowy kind of look, which a lot of people like adapting vintage lenses for that specific reason. With this, you could have something brand new as well. You don't have to slap your Cine Bloom or your Pro Mist on that. You've got it built right in there. Obviously, as you start to stop the lens down, those things will change and it will get sharper and less chromatic aberration and all of that. But if you do like that glowy look, this could be a good option. I'm not the biggest fan of filming videos with rangefinder lenses because the focus throw is so short that it's really easy to go way past where you're trying to pull focus to. So if you have never pulled focus or filmed anything with a rangefinder lens, just keep that in mind. You might want to try it out first, but it's definitely not the lens that I would do everything with. But for, you know, that specific kind of glowy, soft, low contrast look, it could have its place. But these are just two of the 7Artisans lenses. They have a whole line that you can check out at KEH Camera, who again is the sponsor of this video. Big shout out to them for sending these out to let me try them out. If you have anything that you need to look for, whether it be for photo, video, shooting film, shooting digital, KEH is the place to shop. Their inventory is absolutely massive. They have really every single kind of format that you would possibly be interested in shooting. And obviously now they have, you know, new gear like these 7Artisans lenses and a whole retail store that's about to open up, which I cannot wait to see. Buying used gear can be a bit of a headache sometimes, especially going through different marketplace platforms, but KEH makes it super easy and reliable with their whole grading system. They're extremely clear about the condition of the gear that they're selling, and honestly, they're pretty conservative with it as well, so things that I might consider excellent, it might be marked down to their budget line. So because of that, I've been able to buy a lot of gear over the years through KEH and pay a little bit less for the quality that I was looking for. You can also sell your used gear through KEH, which they make it incredibly easy to do, getting a free quote online. You can have a video chat with one of their specialists to look over the gear, and if you do decide to sell it, they'll actually just schedule a pickup so you don't even have to leave the house. If you're in the market to buy used gear or sell your gear, like I mentioned, definitely use the codes and links down below. KEH makes it extremely easy to do, and they've been a big supporter of the channel. I love working with them, and obviously I want to be able to help you guys as well, so you can get discounts on everything down below using the codes and links. If you have any questions or thoughts about the 7Artisans lenses though, let me know in the comments down below. I know people who have been using exclusively these lenses, whether it be for their film camera or digital camera, and they've been really happy with it, especially for the price. So if you're one of those people, let me know in the comments down below. That's it for today. Thank you guys so much for everything. I love you. I'll see you guys next time.